baby born with hair like wool, eyes brighter than the sun, who stood up and spoke to God on day one. His own father was terrified, convinced his wife had slept with a fallen angel. This isn't a myth. This is the hidden history of Noah. Forget the Sunday school boat and the cute animals. Ancient texts reveal a timeline of giants, watchers, and total global corruption. And one man, chosen from birth to survive the deadliest reset in human history. Here is the terrifying true story of Noah. To understand Noah, you have to understand the nightmare he was born into, a world cursed by Adam's fall. Genesis tells us the earth was filled with violence, but the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of Enoch give us the horrifying details. Fallen angels, known as the Watchers, descended to earth, corrupting humanity and breeding the monstrous Nephilim. In this chaos, Lamech welcomes a son. He names him Noah, meaning rest, prophesying relief from the cursed ground. But Lamech's paranoia about Noah's supernatural birth forces him to seek out his grandfather, Enoch, who had walked with God. Enoch delivers the chilling prophecy. Noah is human, but he is destined to survive a coming global annihilation. For 500 years, Noah lives in a society completely devoid of morality. Every inclination of the human heart was purely evil.
I said that is mine.
Yet, Noah stood completely alone. Genesis says he found favor in God's eyes. He was righteous, blameless, and uncorrupted. Around his 500th year, Noah marries Zara and has 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The timeline to judgment was ticking. God looks down at the absolute ruin of earth and makes a devastating decision to wipe all flesh from the surface. But God approaches Noah with the ultimate survival protocol, the command to build the ark. This wasn't a weekend project. God gave Noah the exact blueprints for a vessel made of gopher wood, sealed with pitch inside and out. 3 decks, 300 cubits long, a massive, floating black box designed not to sail, but merely to survive the apocalypse. For decades, Noah and his sons harvested timber and built this impossible structure, while the corrupt society mocked them. Imagine the psychological toll, building a ship on dry land for a rainstorm that the world had never even experienced before. Noah wasn't just a builder, he was a preacher of righteousness. He warned the Nephilim-infested world, but no one listened. As Noah turned 600, the clock runs out. The final command is given. Enter the ark, take your family, and 2 of every living creature. The animal migration begins. Driven by divine instinct, the beasts board the massive wooden fortress. Noah and Zara, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their wives step inside. Just 8 human souls against the end of the world. And then, the most terrifying door closure in history occurs. God himself seals the ark shut. The time for mercy was over. For 7 days, absolute silence. They waited inside the pitch-black vessel. Then, the sky broke open. It wasn't just rain. The fountains of the great deep burst open. Subterranean oceans erupted, shattering the earth's crust. Water cascaded from the heavens for 40 days and 40 nights. The violence of the floodwaters annihilated everything. The ark was violently tossed. Inside, the noise must have been deafening. The screams of a dying world outside. The roar of the water. The waters rose above the highest mountains. Every living thing that moved on the earth perished. The Nephilim were wiped out. For 150 days, the earth was a singular, violent ocean. Noah and his family drifted in pure darkness and faith. Then, the waters began to recede. The ark ground to a halt on the treacherous peaks of the mountains of Ararat. Noah waited. He sent out a raven, then a dove. When the dove returned with a freshly plucked olive leaf, hope reignited. On the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, he removed the covering of the ark. The surface of the ground was dry. God commanded them to disembark. They stepped out onto a completely silent, empty, and radically altered planet. Ground zero for humanity. Noah immediately built an altar, sacrificing clean animals. The scent rose up, and God made the eternal Noahic covenant. Never again would water destroy all flesh. The weapon was hung in the clouds, the rainbow, God's war bow laid to rest. Noah transitioned from a shipbuilder to an agriculturalist. According to Jubilees, he also documented angelic remedies against demonic diseases. But the post-flood world wasn't a sinless utopia. Noah planted the first vineyard, and then a tragic moral failure occurred. Noah drank of his own wine, became heavily intoxicated, and lay uncovered in his tent. The hero of the faith stumbled. His son Ham walked in, saw his father's shame, and exposed it to his brothers. But Shem and Japheth chose honor over mockery. They carefully covered their father without looking. When Noah awoke, the consequences were severe.
You are cursed. Stay away from me.
Noah cursed Ham's line through Canaan to be servants, while blessing Shem and Japheth. The family tree was forever fractured. For another 350 years, Noah lived, watching his 3 sons begin the long, difficult process of repopulating the earth. He saw the rise of new nations, and perhaps the beginnings of new rebellions, carrying the weight of being the bridge between 2 eras. Noah died at the age of 950. He was the last of the exceptionally long-lived patriarchs, closing the chapter on the ancient world. Noah wasn't perfect, but in a world that was entirely dark, he was the only man willing to stand in the light. Will you do the same?